the case for Robert Saleh to be the next head coach of the Detroit Lions.
It's LeGarrette Blount here, man, 3-time Super Bowl champion. I just want to give you a shout out to the YouTube channel, MicroMike, man.
Eddie Murray, former Detroit Lion. Make sure you watch MicroMike on YouTube.
Calvin Johnson Jr. here, aka Megatron. Big shout out to MicroMike and the YouTube channel, man.
Keep on talking everything Detroit Lions, and I just got to remind you, man, happy wife, happy life.
What's going on, YouTube, and welcome to Detroit Lions Talk with MicroMike. We talk all things Detroit Lions news, rumors, analysis, breakdown, and everything regarding our franchise. In this video, I'm going to give you reasons why I believe Robert Saleh, the defensive coordinator of the San Francisco 49ers, should be the next head coach of the Detroit Lions. Before I get into this video, if you're not a subscriber, and over 50% of you are not, hit that big red subscribe button. You don't want to miss out on content, and I'm dropping content every single day, not necessarily at the same time, so it's vital to subscribe so you don't miss out on the content. And if you could hit that big thumbs up, that would be fantastic. Why? Because I'm going against the legacy media, and they have a big platform to get their content and voices out, and I am just one person. When you hit that like button, it really does help out via YouTube algorithm, and that would be leadership. What is leadership? How do you define leadership? We all have different definitions of leadership, but I'm going to tell you what my definition is. Serving in the Army, I was always told to be the first one in, last one out, the hardest worker. Do everything you can to motivate the people underneath your rank, to get the best out of them. How do you do that? Well, you got to work hard. You got to be motivated. You got to be dedicated. You got to lead by example. You got to do all this. Loyalty, duty, respect, self-service, honor, integrity, and personal courage. Leadership. When I look at leaders in the past, when I see the Matt Patricia era, his IQ is high, he's very intellectual, he is a rocket scientist when it comes to his educational background, but he was a dictator. He was not a lead by example individual, from my personal opinion. Late to meetings, not motivating individuals, not getting the best out of people, not putting positions to succeed. Folks, you're about to hit an ad break, and when you hit this ad break, take due time to comment in the comment section. Do you want Robert Saleh to be the next head coach of the Detroit Lions? Y for yes, N for no. Let me know. Let's have some fun. That's what I define as leadership, is the opposite of that. And when I see Robert Saleh on the sideline going crazy, when I see Robert Saleh bringing the best out of a defense, when majority of your starters are not playing, that means he's motivating the people underneath him. He's getting the best out of the roster that he has. And he's very good leadership, and people will follow what he says. He's getting the best out of what he has. That is what the Detroit Lions need. We have a lot of issues on this team regarding roster talent, and players are not in position to succeed. When we lose a starter, the team seems to fall off a cliff. We need to be able to have players who can do well even if they were not the best player available. We need to have that. If you look at Robert Saleh, his stats show it. He has a top 5 defense right now. Top 5 defense. The only defense ahead of him, Los Angeles Rams, Steelers, Saints, Washington. And we're talking about a team that is lackluster of talent regarding issues of injury. To me, that's amazing. He doesn't have starters of Ezekiel Ansah, Nick Bosa, D. Ford, Deion Jordan, Solomon Thomas, Javon Kinlaw, Tarf, Richard Sherman, and Jimmy Ward. That's amazing. And he still has a top 5 defense, shutting down offenses like the Arizona Cardinals. When I seen that game and the plan that took on there and the amount of defense they were on the field, but yet still able to shut it down, I was amazed. And to me, that really brought a confidence that this guy could come in here and transform our defense into something that it should be. A black and blue defense. A team that's led by a defense. You win in the NFL with that aspect. You get after the quarterback, okay, and you play solid defense when it's cold in December, January. That's what it's about. Defense. And our defense is historically bad right now. Very bad. And if we can get a defense that is good, sky is the limit for this team. Another aspect of this is the culture of Detroit. Detroit has suffered through loss of decade after decade after decade. Losing is the culture. Detroit, bankrupt. Detroit, known as this bad city no one wants to go to. Michigan, cold, gray, losing. We're like the only fan base that has the drink the Kool-Aid aspect, because our fan base wants a winner so bad, but we lose year after year after year. Top 10 draft pick after draft pick after draft pick. How do you change that? You need to have an individual who understands this. From a fan base perspective, we understand it. But you have coaches like a Matt Patricia who comes in here, you're about to hit another ad break, and when this ad break takes place, hit that like button. All you got to do is go over there, hit that thumbs up. Takes a second, you be good to go. From the Patriot way, throws everything to the ground. I'm doing it my way. Doesn't understand the culture. Well, as you know, Robert Saleh is from Dearborn, Michigan. He's a Lebanese descendant, and he graduated high school in '97 from Fortson High School. He attended Northern Michigan University, and he is a Michigander from this dimension here. That's what we need. He wants to be the Detroit Lions head coach. How many people want to do that? He understands. He understands what we've been through. The terrible, terrible losses week after week after week, year after year after year. He understands this. We need to break this culture. People want to follow him. You have heard players say, if he leaves, I'm following him. Richard Sherman. People love this guy. They love the defense in his scheme. His scheme works. He wants to be a Detroit Lions head coach. He's from here. If there is anybody that can help turn this ship around, who could bring the Titanic out of the bottom depths of the ocean, Robert Saleh could be that guy. He really can be. This is the black and blue division. You win by defense when it's cold out. He is defensive mind. He knows it. His scheme works for a change. We have a depleted roster on this defense. If we can get a mind that can utilize the players, some of them that we currently have that are not going to get released, that is a net asset that we must have. We are depleted, and we only got 5 draft picks. So if we can get somebody that get the best out of a player that no one else can tap their potential, that is something that we need. Robert Saleh, if he shown that he can do it right now, and he can help us out. I don't know if you've known this, but he played for the Seattle Seahawks in the great secondaries that they've had, the Houston Texans, the Jacksonville Jaguars, and obviously the San Francisco 49ers. Defense has always been a stable of him, and they've always worked for these teams. The defense worked. He leaves Seattle defense tanks. Jacksonville Jaguars, their defense was really good when he was with them. And obviously the San Francisco 49ers. That's what we need. I know a lot of people will say he would be a first-time head coach. I get that understanding and that philosophy and that thinking. What's the point of getting a retread? May I ask you this? If we can get a retread in here, there's a reason that they were terminated from their job. It didn't work out. Robert Saleh, to me, he has everything that could be a very good head coach from my perspective. I think that if the Lions decided to hire this man for the job, he can turn it around. He can turn it around. Does that necessarily mean he will? No. Does that mean the Detroit Lions will hire this guy? No. But I think he would be a very good coach for the Lions to finally bring us what we want, and that's to be relevant again, to win playoff games, and ultimately to hold up the Lombardi Trophy and win. But we have a long way to go, and we need a man to really take us to that level, and it's going to take some time, but I think he can do it. In the upcoming videos, folks, we're going to be doing the One Pride podcast Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I have a special guest, absolutely awesome. Can't wait to introduce him to the YouTube world. And on Sunday, we got the final live watch party of the NFL season, and we start the off-season mode after that. With that said, folks, adios.